Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss few important topics from the chapter Current Electricity, which is chapter 3. Now the first topic which we are going to discuss is your Kirchhoff's law, and this topic is very important for exam point of view. You will get numericals from this topic. Now Kirchhoff is the name of a scientist who put forward this law. One is your law of current, another one is your law of voltage. So law of current is known as first law and law of voltage is known as second law. Now the first law, what it says, it states that the sum of all the currents entering any point must be equal to the sum of all currents leaving that point, and that point basically is known as junction. So in the figure you see O is your point, and I1 is entering towards O, I3 is entering towards O, but I2 is leaving. So as per this law, the current that enters towards the junction O or to the point O is your I1 and I3, whereas I2 is the current leaving that point. So as per that law, I1 plus I3 equal to I2. So this is your first law and also known as law of current. Now the second law, this one is known as law of voltage. Now what is this one? It states that the algebraic sum of all voltages, that is the potential difference across all elements, and EMFs of all sources in any closed electric circuit is 0. Now you see sum of all voltages, that is the potential difference across all elements. Basically here we will consider the resistor as an element, and it says that the potential difference across all elements and EMFs of all sources in any closed electric circuit is 0. So a little bit explanation we are going to define for second law in Wheatstone bridge later on. Now few convention we are going to use when we apply these two law. One is your law of current, another one is your law of voltage. Now what is that convention? You see, number one, now resistor is there and resistor is connected with a source, and in the diagram we have not shown you the source, and I is the current flowing through the resistor R. So if we move along the direction of current towards the element resistor, then the potential difference across that resistor we will consider as negative. This is your number one convention. I am repeating, if we move along the direction of current towards the element resistor, then the potential difference across that resistor is your negative. So delta V, we have defined potential difference, and minus IR. Now second convention is your what? If we move opposite to the direction of current, that top arrow basically signify the movement direction. So if we move opposite to the direction of current through the resistor, then the potential difference across that resistor is your positive. That is your delta V equal to IR, that is positive. Now again, number 3, if there is a source and if we move from negative to positive terminal, then the EMF we will consider as your positive. And if we move from positive to negative terminal, then EMF of that source will consider negative. So the arrow part define the direction of movement, and this direction of movement, sometimes it is along the direction of current, and sometimes it is along the direction opposite to the direction of current, and sometimes it is along the direction from negative to positive terminal, and sometimes it is from positive to negative terminal. So the ultimate conclusion part is what? If we move across an element, if we move through an element along the direction of current, then the potential difference across that element is negative, otherwise it is positive. Similarly, if we move from negative to positive terminal across the source, then the EMF we will consider positive, otherwise negative. So these are the convention part. We are going to use it later on in the numericals. Now next topic we are going to define Wheatstone bridge. Now Wheatstone bridge is nothing but the arrangement of the resistor, 4 resistor basically. Now you see we have taken 4 resistor P, Q, R, S, and there is a source E. Now what happened, from positive terminal of the source current will move, that is I. So at the junction it splits up, one is your I1, another one is your I2, and from I2 current through the galvanometer, which we have defined, that one is your G, capital G is your IG, I suffix G. So the current through the resistor capital Q is your I2 minus IG. Similarly, current through the resistor S is your I1 plus Ig. So when these two meet at the junction E, that is your I2 minus Ig plus I1 plus Ig. So ultimately we will get I1 plus I2, and I1 plus I2 is nothing but is your I. So we have considered the mesh A, B, C, D with a small letter. Now what we'll do, we are going to apply this Kirchhoff's law in the mesh A, B, D, A. Basically this is your closed circuit, mesh is your closed circuit. So we are going to apply this convention here. So A, B, D, A. So if we move from A to B, it is along the direction of current I2, then the potential difference is your minus I2P. If we move B to D along the direction of current Ig, then the potential difference is your minus IgG. If we move D to A, it is opposite to the direction of current I1, so it's your I1R positive. So sum should be 0 as per this second law of voltage, because there is no source. So what is written here? It states that the algebraic sum of all voltages, that is the potential difference across all elements and EMFs of all sources in any closed electric circuit, is 0. Similarly, if we apply Kirchhoff's law in the mesh BCDB, so what it will be? We are moving B to C along the direction of current I2 minus Ig, so minus I2 minus Ig bracket Q, and we are moving opposite to the direction of current I1 plus Ig from C to D, that is your plus I1 plus Ig, S is your resistor, and we are moving along the opposite to the direction of current Ig, so D to B, that is your plus IgG equal to 0. Now we are going to consider a condition of balanced Wheatstone bridge, and Wheatstone bridge is your what? It is nothing but the arrangement of resistor, and there are many applications. If we know 3 resistor, we can define the fourth one. So we are going to consider the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So balance condition is a condition when there is no current through the galvanometer, that is your Ig equal to 0. So if Ig equal to 0, then equation 1 and 2 changes. We have written here in balanced Wheatstone bridge Ig equal to 0. So if we substitute Ig equal to 0, then minus I2P plus I1R equal to 0. So we have written minus I2P plus I1R equal to 0. So I1R equal to I2P, so I1 by I2 equal to P by R. Similarly, if we apply Ig equal to 0 in equation 2, that is your minus I2R plus I1S equal to 0. So minus I2Q, and that is your mesh BCDB, check it out once again, minus I2 minus Ig bracket Q plus I1 plus Ig bracket S plus Ig capital G equal to 0. So if we substitute Ig equal to 0, then minus I2Q plus I1S equal to 0. Minus I2Q plus I1S equal to 0. So I1S equal to I2Q. So I1 by I2, that is your Q by S. So you see equation 3 and 4, I1 by I2 in both cases. So P by R equal to Q by S. So P by R, that is the ratio of the resistors on the left arm, should be equal to the ratio of the resistors on the right arm. So this is the ultimate formula for balanced Wheatstone bridge. So Wheatstone bridge already we have defined. So what is there? Wheatstone bridge is an arrangement of 4 resistors in the form of a bridge used for measuring one unknown resistor in terms of other 3 known resistors. So this topic is very important. Please go through this topic and make your concept clear. Okay, so if you have any problem, please ask, but make your habit to study. If you study, then you can ask, otherwise you can't. So make your habit to study and find out your doubt. So this topic is very important. You will get in exam, and many applications are there of the balanced Wheatstone bridge. So we are going to discuss in later class. Thank you.